Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys can hear me. That took way too longer to go live than I thought it would. But I hope everyone's having a good day. We made it! The entire season! I'll talk about my thoughts about the season as a whole at the end. But we watched the entire season together as a big dysfunctional family that sees each other once a week. But I loved it. I thought it was a really good season overall, and I'm excited that there's gonna be a season 2 officially. That was good, and I enjoy it. And yes, those are Tic Tacs in the shape of a Union Jack for some reason. Don't know why. And if you watch the episode as the podcasts happen, it gets more and more like disfigured because they're not holding their shape anymore in that pattern. So it's just a bowl of red, white, and blue Tic Tacs at the end. But yeah, so let's talk about the episode, the finale. It was a lot of stuff that I don't think we needed to see or hear about. Everything was way more long-winded than normal because they were trying to push that whole hour and a half of runtime when it really could have been, I felt like it could have been like 45 minutes. Like it could have been so much shorter. There was so much added content that could have been cut. But yeah, the top three, they just talk about the big thing is Davina not having to lip sync. And, you know, they're trying to run with storylines of Davina hadn't lip synced, Baga not really feeling up to par for the top three, and Vivian not really feeling so good about the challenge. Overall, you know, it all felt complete by the end, but also the storylines are, you know, dumb considering how it ends. The podcast, again, I don't have anything to say about podcasts. I don't really talk about these portions of the show because I don't have anything to add. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting that you lived your life that way. It's just what can I add to it? Nothing. So let's talk about the challenge. The challenge, top three, Rocket to the Moon. We'll start in the order it was Baga. Overall, it was a good performance. It to me wasn't the most memorable performance of like, oh, the song is gonna be in my head forever. It's not Read You Wrote You. It's not as memorable as like previous challenges. And it was just and also like their outfits weren't outstanding. It was weird how Vivian and Davina were matching while Baga wasn't. Clearly it was like one of them had these two outfits and then they just kind of had to make it work together. I feel like it would have been better if they were either provided outfits or if they were allowed to dress as what they wanted to. I think that would have been much better. But Baga overall, it wasn't the greatest. The verse to me was super unmemorable, which is so weird coming from the Frock Destroyers, where she's the first verse and she's the line everyone talks about overall. Would removing the big dance performance at the end of the season be a bad move? I don't know if it would be a bad move. To me, it's really memorable. I prefer it definitely over the music videos of seasons past. But I do think it's better to have one sing dance challenge performance per season. And we usually do have two. But yeah. So Baga didn't do the best. She was funny, which, Baga tends to be. But it was just a way more disjointed. It wasn't as good of a time compared to the others. Davina did amazing in dancing. Well, I want to say she did really impressive moves. the dancing was just a little bit like robotic to me. It was like, do this, then like kind of just immediately do this other thing. There was no flow, that I would say. I feel like I said this before with Davina. There really wasn't much flow with what she did. But she had probably my favorite verse also. I could see a lot of people watching this episode that weren't Team Davina watching what she had done throughout this episode and being Team Davina. I can see that because she really performed very, very, very well. And then Vivian to me had a really solid verse. She had, in my opinion, the least difficult choreo. So overall, she did it the best because her choreo was super, super easy. But yeah, there was just something off about it. There was something that was like she wasn't as confident in herself, which is her whole story this episode, is that she wasn't as confident. She still killed it. They killed it. It was a good performance overall, but it just wasn't the most memorable of these sorts of performances. And it just kind of, it could have been better. Also, that moon prop in the background is super cheap looking and I don't like it, and it should not be on stage, and it just needs to be gone because I did not like that moon prop. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, because the choreo they had was really, really difficult. And while Davina was capable of what they did, Baga clearly wasn't. And I'm so shocked that they kept Baga's choreo, maybe because she wanted to do it because she knew she could make it humorous. But at the end of the day, you're seeing someone not dancing as good as they should, and that's how the audience is going to read it. I don't know why they made the choreo as difficult as it was. Also, I don't know why they were like, we're going to do the samba. Like, why? That's not what needs to be done for this song. I also think the song choice is a little bit, it felt like they didn't care as much because it's an older song, but also I forget that this season was recorded a while back. So let's talk about the runway. When Baga walked out, I was like, I like that wig. And then the very first thing she said is, this is not my wig. It ain't my wig. It's Cheryl's wig. And I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. It's not a bad dress. It's the finale. You need to dress it up. And that's kind of been Baga's problem the entire season, is that she's never gone beyond. She never took it beyond, what she would wear in, for just a blasé performance. Like, it never took it there. And that's what we needed from Baga. And it's just disappointing, because it was like, there has to be at one point in the competition where you really wow the audience. And that has yet to happen fashion wise for Baga. And it's like, I'm shocked that she did not at one point like borrow a dress from someone that got eliminated. It's like, you're gone, I need that dress. Like, that is something that needs to happen. But let's keep it pushing. Davina, it's a really pretty dress. And it's like, has the statement of the Union Jack. I like that. What's so distracting is the nude arms, the nude illusion arms. I hate it. And I know that's just to have the little wrist cuff things, but God, do I hate that. It's so distracting. It's especially distracting considering that she just came from a dress where she didn't have any nude. Like, it's one thing if you wear these sorts of nude illusions all the time, but if you're not wearing that, especially in the dress you just wore for the performance prior, it's just very distracting to me, and it's just so apparent. And I hate it. And we know that I hate nude illusions from the word go. It's a pretty dress. I don't think it's that amazing. It didn't wow me in any way. I like it well enough. I feel like this is a good promo dress. I mean, it's better than any of the promos we actually saw. I wish promos were more like this, because the promos for the past few seasons have been bad. But Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's not the best thing she's worn all season, which is kind of what you need to wear at your finale. Is the best thing you wear all season, and of course we're having a different standard this than compared to a regular U.S. version of Drag Race, because the live finale that's months later, they don't really get that luxury here. They have to wear what they brought. And then we have the Vivienne, who looks great. It's amazing. I still don't understand this dress. And I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I don't understand the chest contour. I don't know if that chest contour is on the dress. I don't know if it's a sheer fabric with stones on it. I don't know if she just stoned her chest. I don't know. There's something about this dress, the chest particularly, where I cannot make sense of it, which is a good thing, because if it's a nude illusion, it has eluded me in the way it should have, that most illusions do not. A finale, no, I would hate a talent show for the finale. That would not work out well. But yeah, this is gorgeous. This is beautiful. I loved every aspect about it. It is perfection. There's nothing wrong with it. I feel like a lot of people just feel down on dresses in general when it comes to the finales. I think people want something bigger, and I think people have higher expectations than what is feasible for people to wear at a Drag Race finale. I think people want people to explode and cause all this drama when you can just wear a nice dress and it looks great. But yeah, let's move on. So let's talk about, I don't really talk about critiques, but I knew the results of this episode the second Bagga's critique started. They were talking to Bagga and Davina as if they were not trying to punch someone down. As if they were trying to, not step on eggshells. They were, they were saying they were saying nice things, but it was the tone, it was the way they were saying it. It was like they just weren't trying to like, I don't know the word for it, but they just really were so. It was so obvious to me that Vivienne had won, because the way they talked to the Vivienne compared to the other two was just so clear. And it just it makes the faults of the show so apparent. There's many times where the faults of the show has been apparent, and while I like this show, there's been so many times, like, I think the producer stuff has been so clear. You can tell when producer shenanigans are happening. The whole Cheryl moment, and this is another one where it's like, they have to say nice things because it's a finale, but we know what's going to happen. We know who's going to win, and it's so obvious. I don't have the picture of the entire cast, but we had that mini reunion. It was cute. And one thing I love about this cast, they cannot keep a joke. They cannot keep, the producer shenanigans for a second. They're like, we're here to make you to pick the top two, and they could not even hold it in. Like, they were laughing the second it happened. Like, they could not even hold that in. And I was like, okay, thank God. Because if they had picked the top two, I would have been so pissed. So pissed. Even if the top two was the same top two, I would have been so mad. Because how dare you pick the top two? You were gone. You were eliminated. I don't know how they don't learn from their mistakes, but that's not what they did, and thank God. Okay, so let's talk about these looks. Gothy looks good. She looks really good. I love this look. It's so funny because this is kind of the reason she got eliminated also, but she put this onto what she did with the Queen. So I guess that's more of a reason as to why someone would get eliminated. But this is a good look. Scaredy, I love Scaredy. Looks great as well. I love this look. Really cute. Vinegar. Finally wearing a hair I like, but the top of this is not doing it for me. I wish it was all blue. If it was all blue, even a sheer blue, I would have preferred it, but not in what it was here. That was not working for me. Something wrong. It's fine. Nothing exciting. I like this from Crystal. I hate that wig. Oh, do I hate that wig. She looks like one of those fluffy chickens. I cannot stand this wig. This wig is not doing it for me. Everything else is great. Oh, but that wig I cannot stand. Blue looks great. Love this. This look does age her. Unfortunately, I think, there were some elements that could be added or taken away to make it a little bit younger. She looks a little bit aged here. And then Cheryl. I did not like this. I liked it better when it just looked like it was just a bunch of boas over her. And then it's addressed with this sheer... No one did I was going to bring that up later. There was no Mr. Blobby anything. No one mentioned or referenced Mr. Blobby. How dare you? A fucking icon, and they were ignored. How, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. It was very camera dress. It was like, it just felt, the stoning on it's beautiful. Can't deny that. But there's a crotchal area here that's like a big bundle of feathers. I hate that. I don't like it. So we have our top two. Top two, Davina and Vivian. Baga did not make it top two, which I think was correct. And they lip sync to Wham. It's called I'm Your Man. And it was a great lip sync. Really great lip sync. Personally, I was, enamored. I was so obsessed with Davina in this lip sync, personally. Vivian had a lot of, I want to call them stunts. I don't think that's the right word. A lot of tricks, we'll say. She did a lot of comedy bits. But I was so impressed with Davina's lip sync, and it was like, God, Davina's a great entertainer and a great performer. I loved everything Davina did in this lip sync. And I was like, my eyes would have been on her the entire time. I know for a fact. It was great. And it's probably the closest and, by extension, the best lip sync of the season. I don't think it's particularly the best song ever, because I just think, a song with a little bit more energy would have been a better fit. I'm glad we had some Wham representation, some George Michael up in here, but I love this. It was to me, it was a great lip sync. I don't know if it was my favorite, but I think it was the best. And now we have our winner, the Vivian. A lot of people are upset about this, and by a lot, I mean like two people I follow on Twitter. And usually those two people tend to, align with the general public's decision. Like I said in the past, there's got to be controversy about whoever wins. And there will always be backlash on any person that wins. I don't even see that message. How did that pop up? Don't know. But yeah, okay, we need to get rid of you. Unfortunately, still pops up on screen. Love my channel. Yeah, they are the same people who think Katya won All Stars 2. It's since Alaska, there's always been this controversy here and there that the winner is just never good enough. They weren't the right winner, and it's always going to be that way from this point forward. We're always going to see that kind of shit. And it's just disappointing to see that from the fan base. It's just like, let someone win. They can't allow someone to win. They can't allow any happiness. Like, I love Davina, and I think Davina could have easily won. Easily. She did amazing. In this episode, I think she did the best. But also in this episode, for example, I didn't think or rather in the previous episodes, I thought Vivian should have won the last episode, and that Davina shouldn't have. And you know, if you want to put it in that manner, then yeah, you could calculate your own feelings for the show. But ultimately, Vivian did extremely well. And it was also very apparent, and that's another thing, is that people will not allow God damn it, I lost my train of thought. Will not Oh, I completely forgot where I was going with that. They just don't want... Nope. Completely lost it. Oh, that fucked me up. Oh, it's because it's there, and I can't not see it. There we go. Oh, I hate that it shows up on screen, and I've tried to fix it. There's no way to fix it. Ugh. So we have to get rid of it. What do we want? I don't know. Anyways, let's just talk about Drag Race UK as a whole. Drag Race UK was pretty great. As I said before, it was so interesting because it's a different drag community, and it's gotta be interesting to see how the show changes the community, and it will change. I want to guarantee you that. People that say it won't, some people said the same thing about Drag Race, and clearly Drag Race is the forefront of drag as it is currently. Yeah, there's other subcultures, but within drag itself, Drag Race has a big influence. So Drag Race UK will continue, will start to become that influence. Yeah, there was no villain. That was good. I don't even think there was room for a villain. Ultimately, they could have tried to edit it, and I do believe that at the end of the day, they tried to, play a little bit with Baga in the previous episode, but it just doesn't really work out. Davina did not win. I'm sorry, she didn't have that scepter. I mean, you can see it right there. Vivian has the scepter. Use your eyes. But yeah, and another thing, one thing I love with this show and with this, is I loved being willfully ignorant. God, did I love being willfully ignorant. It was so good. I didn't have to pretend that I knew what was happening. It was great. It was great not knowing what was happening. God, did I love it. It was so much fun. Because sometimes I feel like I have to, smile and nod when US Drag Race does something that I don't get. But God, it was great not knowing what was happening. Did you see on Instagram that Trixie and Katya are still doing a video like last year's for the All-Stars reveal? So it's probably coming soon. I do believe All-Stars is probably going to be coming soon. I'm surprised it wasn't this week, because I would assume finale for UK, All-Stars, they would just continue the ball. They would let the ball keep rolling. But apparently they're giving us like a little bit of a break. Who knows? They're doing a Netflix YouTube show. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I think it was a great season, and I had a lot of fun. I also wonder how Drag Race Canada will do. And I'm wondering how the format will be. Will it be all the same? It was a breath of fresh air. It was real. It's all because of the Drag Race community. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the producer stuff is like," or they felt like it was slightly less produced. And it's like, no, the production was still very much there. What wasn't there was the playing into it. I feel, compared to US Drag Race, they just were like, fine, we'll talk about these stories and all that, but we're just being ourselves. And it did seem like a cast of people that did genuinely like each other. by the end, not at first. Clearly there was a whole Cheryl Vivian thing at first, but that didn't really last throughout the season. Like it felt like a lot of storylines were dropped because people just ended up liking each other compared to previous seasons where it was like where they just continue to hate each other throughout the season. The Vivian Baga, Margaret Thatcher, Donald Trump show. It looks funny. I don't know how much of that I can handle. I can handle small spurts of that. I don't know how. I don't know if I can watch the entire thing. Yeah, I mean, we all knew from the very beginning that since the main prize is the title. But we all knew that the most entertaining person on the show was also gonna get a WoW Presents show. We all knew that. So of course Baga is part of it, and and that's not even Vivian's WoW show. That's not her prize show. Her prize show is like, isn't it like Vivian in the US or something? I agree. I would like the thing is with parodying a character like that, it's funny when you're punching down a big political figure that is a huge issue, but once you do it enough, it might become likable, and people will start actually enjoying the character and then end up liking the actual person, and that's something that you cannot do. Viv is joining Work the World. I wouldn't be surprised if more UK queens are joining Work the World, but also other tours are happening with UK queens across the world. But yeah, is there anything else to add? Anything else we want to talk about? I'm still so surprised that All Stars was not announced or anything. Like, there's been no news as far as I can tell about anything beyond the finale. I thought, there'd be something more to add. But yeah, I guess if that's it, we can end it there. That was despite the issues that I hate so many things. But yeah, I'm gonna end it there, I guess. I'll see you guys. I don't know when I don't know, next stream. Don't know when that's gonna be. My Pokemon live streams will continue on Twitch. I will actually the edited version, the highlights, and the full live stream will go up immediately after this stream. So that'll be up in a couple minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy yourself, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.